people, 19,000 people living in a camp designed for about 1,500. The camp was so small, the official camp, that people moved onto a hill in an olive grove.
Last Wednesday, November 22nd, the 8th graders participated in a series of activities relating to the book they read, Refugee. But what exactly did they do?
Last year I heard about the book Refugee because it's read in some local towns. So over the summer I read it, and then through conversation with Mr. Rosa and then with the other 8th grade teachers, we decided to make it a read-aloud book. And the book goes through and tells the story about a refugee from 1938 in Germany, 1994 in Cuba, and from Syria in 2015. On the day before Thanksgiving break, the 8th graders participated in Refugee Day, where they went through different stations. They learned about famous refugees. They tested out boats that they had built in math class out of household materials. They completed a lab report. They read a poem about refugees that read forwards and backwards. And then they did a citizenship blicket with Ms. Grant in the auditorium.
My favorite activity from Wednesday was probably testing our boats that we made during maths class with Miss F. We were meant to replicate what refugees had done in Cuba when they had to flee Cuba because of the dictator who was taking over.
In addition to the activities, State Senator Keenan came and spoke to the students about his own experiences in Greece with refugees.
When I reached out to Senator Keenan's office, I was looking for a connection to someone that could come and speak to the students about refugees and what they've gone through. And as it turned out, when Senator Keenan saw my email, he was very excited that he could share his own experience.
I spoke about my experience at the Moria refugee camp on the island of Lesbos in Greece. I had visited the camp twice, and so knowing that the students had read the book Refugee that was partially set on the island of Lesbos, it was great to share that experience with them.
Senator Keenan went on 2 5-week service trips to the island of Lesbos to help refugees.
It was life-changing. It just taught me so much about the resiliency of people, how they can get through very difficult days. They can treat each other with dignity and respect, and the amount of hope that they have, even though they don't have much, was really, really inspiring.
Students learning about refugees and immigrants gives them a more global perspective and understands things people have gone through and continue to go through. The novel goes back to 1938, but it goes through present day and things that are going on today in the world.
It's really important to know what refugees have been through and that we should not deny them, because it's really important that we are able to aid them and be able to accept them for what they've been through.
I think it's important to learn that the world with technology gets smaller every day, and sometimes we live in what I call bubbles. Myself, all of us live in our own little bubbles, and so to kind of step outside and to see other parts of the world and to try to experience what other people experience, it just makes you more aware and more willing to help and more willing to step up and see what you can do to make the world a better place.
The book Refugee was a great way for middle school students to be introduced into the worlds of people across the globe. We want to thank Senator Keenan for coming to HMHS to educate the students. I'm Madison Burnett reporting for Code Blue News. Back to you in the studio.